Ryan, what can you tell us about that atmosphere?
Well, I can tell you, Chase, that this game means a whole lot to a whole lot of people. Two of the most passionate fan bases in America.
The inside of the knocker ball is just as soft as the outside, which is important because you will get hit.
It's not too early. I mean, he's third in the nation in receiving yards.
Rashad now is playing linebacker in Jarvis Jones for Georgia, and I'll unfortunately be Jonathan Wallace. We all know how that turned out for him.
But you can't deny the facts. And once again here on the field at the BCS National Championship, crews are cleaning up confetti that's crimson and white. When you're sitting in this seat, it's hard to think about anything other than staying out of the wall. But for Sam and JT, there's only one thing on their mind.
Very excited sports anchor tonight, Carson, because my Sun Devils go into the Pac-12 championship.
Not just because it's a huge game, but because renovations in the offseason added several thousand seats. Daniel's numbers speak for themselves, but through the eyes of his coach, well, Daniel's much more than just a pitcher. The Biloxi Shuckers playing baseball in Huntsville is like breaking up with a girlfriend, finding a new one, then bringing said girlfriend back to your ex's house and telling her, see, what had happened was our apartment isn't ready to live in yet, so I thought it'd be cool if we stay here for a while. It's just awkward. I'm not really sure what the big deal is. It's beautiful weather out here, but then again, I'm not playing football this week. Reporting live from Paradise, Ryan Cody, WHNT News 19.
Ryan, just like college football, the weekend it seems to be getting tougher and tougher and heavier games starting to mean a little bit more.
Yeah, Greg, especially here at East Limestone, where the winner of tonight's football game will be among the first teams in the state to virtually wrap up a playoff spot. Russellville and East Limestone each undefeated at 5-0. For the hometown Indians, that's the best start since 2007, which means some of the players on the field behind me, when that happened, we're in elementary school. That's right. But right now they're playing big boy football, and they'll need to do that tonight if they want to take care of business against Russellville. The Golden Tigers attack is averaging over 36 points a game, and they're playing with some serious emotion tonight after an ATV accident that seriously injured star player Austin Kitterman. They'll wear number 10 stickers on their helmets, but the focus has to be on football because this is a huge game in Region 8.
It's a big game.
Tell you what, this is a big game here at our school.
Yeah, you can certainly feel the buzz already. Now, the plan for Austin is to watch the coin toss via FaceTime, then listen to the game on the radio. After that, hopefully he'll be able to catch the highlights tonight on Football Friday. And speaking of Football Friday, several other huge games going on. Bob Jones trying to avoid 3 consecutive losses tonight against Buckhorn, and Tanner looks to get back on track against a new division foe in Tarrant. Number 2 Gunnersville travels a few miles to Boaz for a game with Etowah. And out in the Shoals, number 10 Wilson faces its toughest test yet against 4-1 Deschler. Hey, Chase Horn's out there. He'll have a live report from Tuscumbia tonight on Football Friday. He'll also be talking about another huge game just a few miles away from there, Hartzell at Muscle Shoals. Both of these teams need a win badly to stay in the playoff hunt. The Trojans have had the better of the Tigers in recent seasons, but Hartzell head coach Bob Gotze thinks that is about to change.
It's time we won one of those games with any team we play.
Yeah, and it's, of course, a massive game over there. Several more big ones on the slate for tonight. We'll have all of them on Football Friday. Again, that's a live report from Chase Horn in Tuscumbia tonight. Christine Killemeyer bringing some action for you from Buckhorn. We'll have all of that, and don't forget to get at me on Twitter, at Ryan Cody WHNT. We'll have all that later, plus a look at the big weekend in college football. You may have heard Alabama's playing Ole Miss. We'll talk about that coming up later on tonight. Until then, we'll see you back here after the break. There's just a couple more practices before state, and Deschler cannot wait.
I mean, senior year, you get to put that uniform back on one more time. I mean, you know.
Some players might be a little nervous before the biggest game of their lives, but nothing the Tigers will face at Jordan-Hare Stadium can compare to the tragedy they've already had to endure.
I couldn't even believe it. Like, when I first heard it, I didn't believe it at all. It was just, I was angry, upset, sad.
The news of head coach Jake Linville's death spread quickly throughout the community. 2 days after beating Brooks, the Tigers returned to Howard Chapel Stadium
hand in hand. Interim head coach Michael Statham.
Everybody goes through the different stages of grieving process, and for me it was just, thinking about these kids, thinking about his family.
Sure, the Tigers could have packed it in at that point. It's not like anybody would have blamed them, but quitting was not part of the goal set up back in August, and it definitely was not going to become part of the plan either.
He didn't carry us that far for us to just quit and not play, so we knew, if it was up to him, we'd be playing. So, that's what we done. We made that decision, the seniors made that decision, so that's what we decided to do.
What'd be the risk in us believing that we can be competing for a championship, in 5 weeks? What's the risk? That we get disappointed? When we're going to be disappointed anyway. So why don't we just take that risk?
And the Tigers have not lost since. 1 win from the ultimate goal. 1 win from the ultimate memorial.
It's for Coach Limble because, it started with him in the weight room this summer and him pushing us further out here running hundreds on this field. We had a vision of getting our name and our 2014 right there on that wall. That's just where it started, so that's why everything we do is for him.
And for these Tigers, the memory
I feel like he's always on the sideline with us.
is like a 12th man on the field,
You always know he's got the best seat in the house.
or wherever that 12th man may be watching. Media members from all over the country have descended on South Florida for one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
I think you have to put this on the level of a Final Four.
CBS News correspondent Armin Katayan would know. He's covered everything from the Olympics to the Super Bowl and says the enormity of this media gathering is on par with anything he's ever seen.
It's very well organized. You have media from all around the country. But this is well on its way to becoming the Super Bowl of college football, and it's almost there now.
But after 6 days of interviews, what could these two coaches possibly have left to say?
You come out here 4 or 5 days early. By the time you get to this day, the day before the game, the coaches are sick of you, and you're certainly sick of them.
Well, that can't be true. Or maybe it is. There's really only one way to find out. Coach Ryan Cody, WHNT, after the arrival and then the media day yesterday and then coming to see us this morning, do you ever get tired of seeing us at this point in the week?
No, not at all.
If you sense the sarcasm, it's because Coach Saban's top priorities this week have to do with winning a football game, not with telling us what we want to hear.
I'm a little old school in how I try to protect our team to stay focused on what they need to do and how what you do can affect how they think and their ability to focus on what they need to do to be successful.
Which should be easy now, because the next time Saban stands in front of the microphone, it will be following Monday night's BCS championship game. In Fort Lauderdale, Ryan Cody, WHNT News 19 Sports. Another SEC Media Days has come and gone from Hoover. More than 1,200 credentialed reporters and photographers, all in hot pursuit of a story.
For the first time, there's a magician named David.
Not a bedtime story, a real story. And it really shouldn't be that hard, with 14 head coaches.
No, it's just a summer cut that went a little bit tighter than normal.
And 42 student athletes.
The truth is, it was on sale, y'all. It was on sale, and I didn't want to pay a lot of money for a suit.
Despite all that hard-hitting journalism, there's only been one piece of actual news this week. On Tuesday, SEC Coordinator of Officials Steve Shaw outlined several changes to the upcoming season, one of which includes an extra referee on the field.
And that's what we need. We need those different angles to make correct calls.
And thank goodness for Steve Shaw. Otherwise, it would be all about sneakers.
Me wearing swagged out shoes, I think that's kind of fun.
Or coaching impressions.
I don't know. It's something kind of... Look.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe people in the Southeast just care so much about college football that the off-the-field stuff matters just as much as on the field. Why else would we follow these guys around like they're the Kardashians? Why else would we walk backwards with cameras over our heads?
Oh, there's a ball right to your left, I told you. I tried to tell you.
We look ridiculous, but the truth is we need this. It's been 6 months since Ohio State beat Oregon, and another 6 weeks before we can satisfy that thirst for college football again.
It's a very fulfilling moment, borderline erotic.
All these ladies here don't want to hear that out their dad out.
We love it. Football consumes the South, and the South consumes football.
It's almost a cult, you know, people in the South love football.
To further prove how insignificant this week is towards actual football, we, the media, chose Auburn to win the SEC championship, but Alabama to win the SEC West. That's impossible.
How could that happen, right? Right? In a vote, right? I don't know. I just think somebody has been drinking.
So while you might be saying to yourself, well, this whole college football thing sort of seems like an addiction to some, I would say there are way worse things you can be addicted to. Signing off from the mayhem that is SEC Media Days in Hoover, Ryan Cody, WHNT News 19 Sports.